When we think about independent female characters on television in the 1970s, I guess we start thinking about Mary Tyler Moore, whose Mary Tyler Moore show was huge and ran from 1970. But there was a show before that that had a strong, independent female character played by a woman who broke the rules and even defied the studios right up to the end. I'm talking about a show called That Girl, and it starred Marlo Thomas. Fun fact, her actual name is Margot Thomas, but she couldn't pronounce it properly as a child. Anyway, Marlo Thomas, daughter of Danny Thomas, who was showbiz film and television star in his own right. I don't know if that helped her a lot. I guess it did get her some attention. But anyhow, she had been in small parts in lots of shows that were big in the early 60s. Bonanza, McHale's Navy, The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis, about which I should do something one day. 77 Sunset Strip, My Favourite Martian, which is still on broadcast television in my part of the world. Anyway, Marlo Thomas auditioned for a role in a show and she didn't get it. A typical Hollywood story. But the producers were pressed enough with her to offer her her own show. And that show was a show called That Girl, which premiered in 1966. We're talking in that era, new shows around that time with the Monkees and the Batman TV series, Star Trek. So an era where television is changing quite a bit. But That Girl focused on a single female character. Now she does have a boyfriend, but she has a boyfriend, but he's not her husband. And she lives alone and she lives an independent life, and she's a struggling actress. She does all sorts of jobs, and that's what propels the narrative for something like 136 episodes. Marlo's character, Anne-Marie, trying to get work by doing lots of little odd jobs. Her boyfriend, played by a guy called Ted Bessel. Now, the producers of the show and the sponsors of the show were very happy with it. It continued until 1970, when it was Marlo Thomas herself who said, I don't want to do this anymore. Let's call it quits. And so they did. The producers of the show and the sponsors, Claire Oil, the hairdressing products company, wanted the show to end with a big wedding between Marlo's character and the boyfriend. But she said no. And instead, it ended with her taking him to a women's liberation meeting, which she's quoted, Marlo Thomas is quoted as saying, which made no one happy except me. Well, it makes me happy too to think that that was the case in 1970. And we've got to remember 71, I think, was when the final episode aired. Mary Tyler Moore's show had just come along. So Mary Tyler Moore's show began in 1970. So it had to be That Girl that paved the way for the Mary Tyler Moore show, which of course Mary Tyler Moore's character, the implication is that she is, if not divorced, certainly out of a relationship and starting a new life as a single independent woman with her own apartment and, as we know, working in one of the great ensemble comedies of all time. There's lots of reasons to talk about Mary Tyler Moore's show, about the show itself, the characters in it, the fact that it spawned a number of very good spin-off shows, but it was also hailed at the time as a show with a strong central female character. Now, there have been a few others, but most of them, as I said, come after That Girl, which seems, I guess, strange now to be talking about shows having strong female characters as if that's something unusual. Well, it was something unusual. And there are still many areas in television that are male dominated. And we shouldn't forget that roughly 50% of the population is female, and that there are those stories to tell. And there was a time when they didn't get told at all, and it's not that long ago, within my lifetime, that there were groundbreaking series because they put a woman at the centre and not in a traditional role. So, I hope that's rekindled some memories for you. Perhaps you had favourites among those shows. You can name some others with strong female characters. And there have been strong female characters. I mean, prior to this, let's not forget. But when we're talking independent female characters who make their own decisions, who either live on their own or live by their own rules, a few and far between in that era, and even arguably today. So, tell me what you think. Give me a like if you like it. Post a comment if you've got one. Share if you will, and subscribe if you can, because it does make a difference as I try to build this channel and try to make a lot of different videos that appeal to you, or some of you. That's it from me. Thanks for your time.